On October 16th, 2023, two lads sat down who have a podcast called the Bunch of Grifters podcast for episode 89 to not only look at each other in the eyes and talk, but to bring a guest on.
And fall in love.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Guys, welcome to episode 89 of the Bunch of Grifters podcast. This is a quick intro. You're more likely here for the interview we'd had with Adam Baines from the band Shale. That's right. So let's just dive right into that. Tune in for the end to listen to the boys here talk about our goals. Is there anything you want to add?
No, let's just get into the thing. It was really good. I was trying to talk as little as possible in this intro. That was great. I think we're ready to go into the interview with Adam Baines.
Adam Baines.
I'll put you up.
Set the gain up a little.
Yeah, I'll put you up to 30 so you don't have to get as close.
I'm used to eating my microphone.
Yeah.
Normally, so
well, I
want
everybody to hear you because you have the things that need to be said. You know, you're why people are showing up to this podcast because it's about your come up and Shale's come up, and I mean, I think this is the best way to just jump into it.
Sure.
With Adam here, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, of course.
We were stopped outside of one of your shows once, and we could tell that this is the guy who's gonna fucking talk to us, so we're gonna get him on the podcast.
I remember you haggled for a T-shirt
I did.
outside of the show.
I got some stickers too.
Got some stickers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a sticker on the desk over there. It's covered by the controller, but
Yeah.
on the desk.
Big
yeah.
fan. So no, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And we've obviously had a couple other of the local bands in town, but we'd love to hear more about you guys. Like, where are you guys originally from? Are you guys from the island here?
Yeah, so all of us are basically from Souk and East Souk. We say we're based in Victoria because it sounds a little nicer than Souk.
You don't tell people you're from Souk.
No,
right?
Unfortunately not. I mean, it's beautiful, but everyone just thinks of lucky drinking hillbillies when you think of Souk. So
It's a gorgeous. It is a cute little spot, though.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Realistically.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're all from Souk and East Souk, and we all went to Edward Milne Community School, like the same high school, just kind of at different times.
All of you?
All of us went to the same school, yeah.
That's sick.
So I'm the youngest at 22.
Yeah.
And Rowan, the keys player, he is 28. So there's like a good separation there, but we all went to the same school at some point.
Right. Okay.
And Rowan lives on the same street as me. Kiarra and I were taking the school bus since we were kids.
Really?
Yeah. So we've all kind of known each other for a long time, but
Yeah.
the band kind of only started around like 2019.
Yeah. But were you guys like always into instruments then? Were you always jamming and all that, or?
So like I can only speak from my experience.
Sure.
Kiarra and I used to play music all the time, like all the way through middle school and high school. Like on our lunch breaks at school, we'd find a stairwell and just like play guitar and sing and whatever. Or like if we're waiting for the school bus after school, because the bus out to East Souk always took like an hour before it would come pick us up.
Classic.
We'd just play some guitar and sing and whatever. So
That's fair. That's awesome.
us for sure. Rowan and Michael were heavily involved in the theater program.
Okay.
And everything going on in Souk. So they've done like sound, lighting, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff for
Production
the
side of
Souk,
things.
yeah, for the Souk Harbor players and for stuff for the school as well. So they've known each other for a long time in like the tech portion.
Okay.
Kiarra and I have known each other for a long time, like just playing around after school and stuff. And Breanna and Michael and Rowan. Oh no, Breanna and Michael played in like the school talent show and stuff together.
Okay.
So like
Nice.
we've all been around each other at some point,
Small
all playing
town
music.
Souk.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys aren't all the same age, so you guys kind of just
No,
knew
yes.
each other through school. That's kind of crazy.
Just through school,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. That's cool that you meet like that. And we were talking about it a little bit before. I mean, when was the moment where you guys sat down and were like, okay, let's do it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Right.
Michael and Rowan, They had been in many different bands before, made loads of bands together. Michael only started playing the drums because him and Rowan were in a band where there were 5 keyboard players, I think. Like, everyone played keys. It was at 4 or 5. Everyone played keys. No one played anything else.
Yeah, fucking key players, the most basic one out there. I mean, that's what everybody learns, right?
Yeah. So Michael picked up the drums specifically for that.
Oh, really? Just because?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
dope.
And then in 2018, 2019-ish, there was a lineup with our old bass player.
Okay.
They didn't have a guitar player at the time, so Kiarra tried to bring me on as the guitar player. Rowan actually knew of Breanna already and wanted to bring Breanna in as the guitar player. Breanna's our bass player now.
Yes, yeah.
So I kind of beat her to the punch a little bit, and I hopped in, and I was the guitar player for a little bit. Our other bass player left, so we just kind of naturally brought in Breanna, and she was always a fan and knew all of the songs. So it was very, very easy, smooth transition. So 2019, we kind of started, and then during the whole pandemic is when we started practicing with our new lineup and writing music and recording too.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, that's what I was asked was when did the first song you guys make, or were you doing covers off the start pretty much, or?
So off the start, it was always original focused.
Okay.
Like, even with the old bass player, it was largely about writing music and playing music.
Because you don't want to be the cover band, right? Like,
Well,
there's something to it. There's something to it.
Yeah.
And like, it's obviously you guys are gonna play songs. Like, you're gonna play those songs to learn and all that, and they're fun to jam.
Yeah.
But it's like you can be a cover band and do successful things with that,
Yeah.
but it's only as big as what's the goal? Like, do you want to just play music and get up every night, or do you want to like create something?
Yeah, and we're all very passionate about the creating portion.
Yeah.
So we're like originals focused for sure. We play
Theater kids. I mean, you have theater kids in the thing. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like, of course. Yeah. That's perfect though. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, we're all really into the creating. Michael, Breanna, and I are actually in a cover band. We play like Irish Times and Barton Banker and stuff just on the weekends.
Okay.
Just to make a little extra money on the side.
Which one's that? Are you allowed to say that?
We're fairly recent. We're called Mystic Coast. It's just a name that my buddy Alex came up with. But yeah, we've played like a few so far.
Like the pickups.
Yeah.
You know the pickups.
Yeah, that kind of thing, right?
Like, they're fucking
Pickups,
they're
OK
dope.
Charlie,
and
those
like
guys, yeah.
we had the singer on from Greg.
Yeah,
and he, like, I don't know, really cool. Really
he's a
cool,
cool guy.
So, but I can understand it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just the side project, but Shale, the original, is definitely the main focus for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. And like you guys got this one song, Shake. I love that fucking song.
It's good,
man.
eh?
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to work with Daryl Thorpe, who just produced the new Foo Fighters album.
Yeah.
So he's got like 8 or 9 Grammys or something like that. And then Brian Lucy, the guy who mastered it, just did Lizzo's About Damn Time stuff.
Sure.
And worked with Royal Blood.
Good.
And
So how do you get into that? Like, do they find you and they're like, oh, you guys are smaller? Like, I want to fucking, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, let's make a song, right? Like, are they just into it, or?
Yeah, so like, I'm sure you guys have heard of like Fiverr and stuff like that, where you can just like hire random people freelancing on the internet. So for music, there's something called Sound Better.
Okay.
And a lot of these people will, put up their portfolio. This is all the stuff that I do. If you want to work with me, reach out. So
kind of like a LinkedIn of.
Yeah, right.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm fucking stupid, man. I'm trying. I got to make sure I'm understanding. Yeah.
So
okay.
our producer for the song, Brett Smith Daniels, shout out to Brett. He kind of got us on Sound Better and saw that Daryl Thorpe was on there. So we kind of just sent an email out and we're like, hey, this is our new song. Do you want to work with us? Kind of just on a whim, thinking, maybe he will. And sure enough, he did. Yeah. He was so into it, and he got back to us right away. So, and then we kind of, it sounds bad to say used, but it's kind of what you have to do. We said, oh, Daryl Thorpe wants to work with us. So, hey, Brian, do you want to work with us as well? So Brian Lucy from Magic Garden Mastering down in LA, a bunch of Grammys as well. So we're just like, hey, Daryl's interested in working with us. So surely you're interested in working with us too, right?
Of course.
And we found him on Sound Better as well. So, we just killer production team for that song.
Very cool.
Yeah, and
Very cool.
Made it on the radio. So,
yeah,
it was well received for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one. Is Shake for sure your biggest song, or do you guys have another one that's
So To the Ground is our most streamed song right now, but Shake's like right on its heels.
Yeah.
To the Ground was the first song we ever released last year in January.
Yeah.
And that's like probably our most popular one, but I mean Shake's like right behind it now. in half the time.
I appreciate that you guys are willing to just still release some music. Like you're not scared to release songs, and I don't know, it's good. Like that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's unfortunate with the streaming industry and how this bullshit streaming is, but you just got to get streams, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of part of it, right?
You don't really make anything from
No,
streams. Like
you're
I'm
not
sure
making money
everyone's
off of
heard
it,
about
no.
Spotify paying out like 0.03 of a cent per stream or
it's
something like
ludicrous.
that. It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely ludicrous. Like
you have to have something for people to listen to.
yeah.
So you can't just, play live shows and then be like, okay, see us at our next live show.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you play a live show. Hey, we've got all this stuff out on the internet for you to consume for free, essentially. Like, come listen to it. And that's how you keep people interested.
It's like free OnlyFans. You got to keep people coming back. You got to keep them coming back.
Yeah, one free post a week.
Yeah.
Couldn't have said it better.
with making money from, so you get, say, that cent from a stream. Is all the other money coming from gigs and other things like that?
So the largest thing for getting money in through the door is BC's really good for grants and stuff like that. So it's a big process, and Michael and Kiarra have been just busting ass on grants. So they've been doing a really good job. But
sorry, small business grants, or is this
so there's
specifically
creative
for performing?
Grants.
Okay,
yeah. So like Creative BC has grants for recording. They have grants for touring. So we applied when we did our little BC tour.
Yeah.
We applied for a travel grant that would have been around $5,000.
Wow.
So that
they'll
would
give you
cover
$5,000 to travel.
gas, hotel rooms, like other expenses relating to
You send it all
room
back
fees and stuff. Yeah.
They check it and all that.
We didn't get it, unfortunately. So we were pretty much out of pocket for most of the for the tour.
Yeah.
But we'd already, you don't expect to make money on your first tour. It's just getting your name out there. It's really expensive advertisement, essentially.
Was that your guys' first tour?
Yeah.
First proper tour? Wow.
Yeah,
dude,
so we've been up and down the island a couple
Okay.
times.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But
That's
BC
awesome.
tour, that was a staple for sure.
How was it? Did you?
Oh, it was great.
Good?
We had a few shows cancel because of all the wildfires on
I
the
think
mainland.
I saw that on your guys' Instagram.
That's so unfortunate.
That sucks.
Really sad. We were gearing up to go to Vancouver, and then we were going to have a stop in Kamloops and Vernon as well. But it didn't really make sense to drive into the fire while everyone else was driving out of the fire.
Yeah, definitely not.
And then it's an outdoor festival too, so no one's going to be dancing around in like thick
The
smoke.
thick, yeah.
No, it was a bad time. Our hearts go out to everyone in the mainland that went through all of that.
Yeah.
And, lost property.
It's
and
tough.
stuff,
all our families from Kelowna, so we were
So you guys know all about
listening
it.
to it. And
Yeah.
it's shitty. It's just so shitty that that's part of living in that beautiful area.
Yeah.
You know,
But we had the opportunity to kind of postpone the shows that we were
Sure.
going to play. So they said, next year, or if we host another thing later on, we'd love to have you back.
yeah,
So
totally.
we have an opportunity to still go to these places, and we still have the connections with the venues, but we just weren't able to do it this time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But still, I mean, get your name out there is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can only imagine the pain in the ass the advertising is. Like, do you guys use Instagram? Like, what were you doing? Like,
So
is it posters? I feel like posters downtown are like probably one of the best ways.
yeah, our marketing strategy for the tour specifically, in each of the towns that we were going to,
Yeah.
we were putting up posters.
Oh, really?
Just literally everywhere. So
That's
physical
funny.
posters. We were doing meta ads through Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram. Doing a lot of our own like personal posting and sharing and like word
Sure.
of mouth stuff.
Yeah.
But there's so much that goes behind like online marketing and like digital marketing and stuff. It's just ridiculous. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine.
We've tapped into a few things. There's still room to learn, obviously. Like we're coming up to the end of our second year, being out there playing shows and having music out. So there's still so much to learn, but we've learned a lot in the past couple of years for sure.
That's really fun, man.
Yeah.
That's really fun. You guys are obviously very skilled. You've been doing it for a long time. So you're currently going to school, right? So you're trying to just continue that, or
Yeah, so I'm in school right now for music in
Yeah.
Victoria. Kiara's also in school. She's doing
it's okay.
She's
It's
doing
only
something.
it's recorded.
It has to do with-
She's
it
doing
has to do
something.
with, I think she's going to med school and stuff. Like she's planning on going to med school. She's literally deferring going to med school for the band.
All right.
So like
Jeez.
she's pretty fucking committed. It's
Yeah.
obvious. Oh,
Yeah, good.
sorry, Leaning Tower of Pisa here with the books. But yeah, we're going to school, but kind of things are taking a bit of a back seat while the band's kicking off for sure.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, you got to chase it.
Yeah.
Right. There's got to be a little
dream,
bit of chase.
right?
Keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Foot on the gas.
What was the reason to getting into music? Was there lots of things at a young age that you were doing, or was it just you had nothing to do in Souk, so you had to play guitar?
I mean, my family moved here from England when I was 7, when I was young. So
Born in England.
Yeah, born in England.
Nice.
Yeah. And we went to like a block party in East Souk, and there was a cover band that were just playing like AC/DC songs, and they weren't great. But to me, at 7 years old, dude, that was the coolest thing ever. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah,
So
really, that was the moment.
Yeah, down the street from our school, like my brother and I went to the same elementary and middle school. And just down the street from there was a music store in Souk. So like immediately we picked up lessons like after school. I've been playing guitar since I was like 8. I didn't take it seriously until like 6 years ago, but like I've been playing for a long time.
Just self-taught, just pressing the thing and
strumming
the thing.
I take lessons and then like I'd not practice and then show up and learn like the intro to a bunch of AC/DC songs and then go home and never play. But then I started teaching myself I got re-inspired at like a summer camp. Some guy brought an acoustic guitar and was playing Blackbird on it, and I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
All the girls were like, oh my God. And you're like, okay, I gotta figure this out.
Yeah, that's when I realized it was more than just playing the guitar.
That's funny.
What was the first song you learned on guitar?
The first song I ever learned, I imagine similar to everyone else, which is Smoke on the Water.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like
as you have to.
3 notes, so it's super simple. But after that, it was just like anything that had an E power chord, a D, and an A in it, and had AC/DC on it. And like literally, that's all I'd play. Nice. Never did scales, never did chords. I learned the bare minimum so I could play like TNT
AC/DCs.
and Highway to Hell and that stuff. And that was it.
That's sick.
That's what you got to do, though. I mean, that's what it is, right?
And now I'm going to music school.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool, though. That's fucking cool. I love that. Yeah.
Dive in here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just having some nuts.
This is a question. The name Shale.
Shale.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to where it came from, because I was telling my parents, I'm like, yeah, we're getting this lead guitarist on from the band Shale. My dad's like, does he work on the oil rigs or something?
Yeah.
So, funnily, like, we couldn't come up with a name. Like everything, just couldn't come up with a name.
It's hard, eh?
It's terrible.
Fuck, man. It took us forever for this.
Yeah.
We went through a couple iterations for sure. Yeah.
So couldn't come up with a name. And then the joke came up that it's a rock band. So they started coming up with like rock names. Obsidian's like a little too death metal. Granite's kind of boring. So like Shale came up, and it was the only name that not everybody hated. They were like, "Oh, okay, like Shale, yeah, sure, we'll start there." Never changed from there, and just stuck with it. And
I like it. Like personally, first impression when I heard it, like I didn't think at all about the rock. Like there was something to it. Like there was something. I was like, oh fuck, this is. And as soon as I heard the sound you guys are playing and the name, I was like, it just goes together.
Yeah, it weirdly fits
it
very
does.
well for sure.
Yeah,
yeah. And it was. I think it started off mainly as a joke, but it just stuck. And
yeah, you guys have like a certain sound for sure. Like you guys have, which I really appreciate. Like I can tell you guys aren't trying to copy anyone per se, like if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously you're taking some inspiration from some. Like
sure.
where are you guys coming from? Like what was your go-to? Like is this like an alt rock kind of group? Is it an R&B group? Like where do you guys?
This is always a fun question.
Yeah,
because the answer is so different depending on who you ask.
Yeah. Okay.
So for me, like obviously I grew up listening to dad rock.
Yeah, the AC/DCs
and blues and stuff. So that's kind of where I
look like a lady.
Literally, yeah.
That's dad rock.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So that's kind of where I get my influence from. Brianna, the bass player, she listens to a lot of like kind of alt rock and like Blondie and stuff like that. That's definitely like where she gets her stuff from. Okay. Kiarra is big into grunge, so she listens to just about everything. So like I don't know if you guys have heard of Dinosaur Jr.
Oh.
No, that's her favorite band, and their music is it's not like it's not like us. It's not like we're trying to copy anything. She's she listens to everything and takes a lot of inspiration from everywhere.
Of course. Well, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it is at the end of the day.
I feel like that'd be important. She's the vocals, right?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe having all those different sounds coming in would probably be like pretty beneficial.
But there's something to like when it was the same thing with drawing. If you draw based on some other artist, you keep drawing based on that one artist, you'll start just being that one artist.
Yeah.
Right. So you kind of have to just go outside of the box and just make your own little, not mistakes, but, enhances to whatever it is. And that's kind of cool when it's a jumbled mess of a bunch of things. And especially when it's like you guys all have completely different tastes, right? You would expect like, oh, they're all like all into alt rock and they're all like you would just expect that. But like it's funny enough, like not how most bands are.
Not even a little,
right? Like a lot of you guys have very different opinions, I'm sure, on what sounds good. Too, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. Like, do you guys? What's the creative process through that?
It's super collaborative.
Yeah.
Michael also plays keys and like dabbles in guitar. Breanna plays a bit of drums and a bit of keys, and she plays guitar and bass. And Kiarra plays keys, and Rowan can just play anything because he knows music theory backwards and forwards. So he can just like pick up an instrument and go, "That's how it works," and then figure it out.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Yeah, that's helpful to have too, because if he's like, let me and then just pick it up, like maybe this. I don't know.
So if we ever want to substitute a chord for something else, or like throw in a little note that leads to the next chord of the song without getting there quite yet, I'll just be like, hey Rowan, what's gonna bring us where we need to be, or what would be a good change instead of this? And he's always got it. He just pulls it out of the top hat.
Yeah. But it's very collaborative. Like you guys are very
so collaborative. Yeah.
That's cool. That's
I
cool.
have a lot of
Super
input
cool.
on the drums and guitar, and Rowan kind of has a lot of, he wrote one of the guitar solos in one of the songs.
Really?
Yeah, he just played it on the keys. He was like, hey, Adam, play this. And it's always fun having him give me stuff that's been written on a keyboard and then tell me to play it on guitar, because it's super different. And a lot of the time, you just can't.
Right.
Like, it's physically impossible.
Right. Yeah.
There's too many notes close together and you're playing them all at the same time. You literally just physically can't play it on a guitar.
Yeah. But you can try and sneak as much of it in.
Yeah.
Right. And it still will usually translate. But I can imagine like it's like,
it's a fun little game.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Like, oh, what did he give me this time? Sort of a thing.
Yeah.
That is cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
No, I think that there's something like those moments are like the reason why you do it. Those are the moments that you pick up the fucking guitar and you take the really small pay and you go on the, what I mean? Like it's for that. It's just for that creative process of sitting down with your buddies, doing it.
Totally.
I don't know, which I think is like, that's kind of the one thing, like people got to seek that. Like it's so like, do you feel like your life's better now that you've been seeking it with all the stress and the bullshit?
With the financial side of it, and like the amount of time all of this takes, obviously totally. It's very taxing, but it's the best thing. Yeah. It's so good, and it's worth it every second, man. Like it's just so good.
Yeah.
And getting to share that with people that you consider to be your friends too, like good friends of yours is magical. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, magical too, but I mean, like I'm talking about the behind the scenes stuff. I mean, being on the stage too is a whole different fucking mindset too, right?
Yeah.
Like you're completely in a different world. Yeah. At least this is from what I've heard.
Yeah,
right?
no,
like,
you like transcend to somewhere else entirely. Yeah, it's super cool. You get eyes closed, you're ripping a solo or something, and you're just like, this is you're just flying. Yeah.
So I can imagine. Like that's a high.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's a fucking high. Takes a lot to get there.
What's the coolest show you guys have had?
I think, and we talk about this a lot. We often kind of check in and we do a debrief after every show. Like, how did it go? What was good? What was bad? What can we do better? But we played the Souk Music Festival as the last stop on our tour, and we all agree that was the best show we've ever played.
Finished the tour at home.
Like, finished the tour back at home.
That's cool.
That's
like
cool as
300, 400 people showed up in like this little park with this little stage on it, and like, we had the whole lighting rig. We'd just been around BC, and we come back, and we're back in our hometown, and Souk showed up.
Showed up.
It was crazy.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
There
Wish you
were
got to
some,
go to that.
there's some technical difficulties. I broke a guitar string in the middle of a solo. I like jumped off the stage and was like playing guitar over people and stuff. Like it was bonkers, and it was the best show we've ever played for sure.
That's awesome.
Wicked.
That's so much fun.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Wow. So on the other end, what was the worst show?
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
Which one were you guys at?
yeah, there's been
Technical difficulties, though, right? That's the hellhole. Is when
Yeah.
I
like
can only
you
imagine.
can't hear yourself, or the monitoring is off, or I don't fucking know,
Yeah.
right? Like that stuff. Like
yeah. Well, we've spent like a good chunk of money. A lot of the money that we've spent recently has been on our in-ear monitoring rig.
Yeah.
So we have a little rack on the stage that we plug all of our own stuff into. And
Yeah.
we send it out to front of house so that you can put it through the speakers and you can mix what the audience will hear, right?
yeah.
But
you
then
can
it
choose
also
what
goes
you
into
hear.
our mixer
Yeah.
and goes wirelessly to each one of us. So we have a little pack
Cool.
on our back and then our little earbuds in, and then we just grab an iPad or a phone or whatever, and you can just adjust everything. So
That's
I'll have a
cool.
lot of guitar, a lot of drums, not very much vocal, not very much keyboard, because the keyboard and guitar tend to clash a little bit.
Are they sound canceling then? So do they protect your ears
like
too?
they're fully in your
Good-
ears.
oh,
They're
okay,
meant
cool.
to be like earplugs as well as in ear.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
so
That leads into my other question: is yes or no earplugs in a concert?
always.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
always without like if you're not wearing earplugs at a concert and it goes on for longer than 15 minutes, you're literally just
Ruining your ears.
Ruining
You
your
have to
ears.
start doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing. I've been doing it with my
Yeah.
on my own headphones, like because
Yeah.
they have sound canceling.
Yeah.
And like it's enough. It's enough to just stop that initial.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
especially in Lucky, because Lucky is so fucking
Lucky
loud.
can
Yeah.
destroy some ears.
Oh, big time. Big
Yeah.
time.
'Cause it's
Yeah.
just
When
a
they
ba-
crank it, it's
It's
loud.
It's just
Yeah.
a box. That's
It is a
just
box. Yeah.
reverberating the
Sounds
noise.
of death. Yeah.
It's really not great. Like,
Well,
again,
you can,
if you're a rock band, if you're a heavy metal rock band, that's
Yeah.
the fucking dream. You want it to be as distorted and loud as fuck as that's like rock.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But I don't know. I can appreciate when you can just actually hear the music.
yeah. And you can buy like for relatively cheap, specifically like musicians earplugs. So rather than just like working on a job site where you're listening to a drill over and over, those earplugs just cancel noise. That's it.
Yeah.
The musicians ones actually filter the noise in a way that it's not going to damage your ears, but it still preserves a lot of the sound quality.
Oh, interesting. So you're still hearing
Nice.
what you're supposed to
yeah,
hear.
it's not just like I'm listening to this band and they're just muffled and that's it.
Right.
You can actually
It's
enjoy
like
it.
I can
and
hear
take
this
it all
band
in.
and things that are supposed to be clearer are clearer,
Yeah.
but also I'm not going deaf.
Yeah, yeah. Because I don't know. That's what I've noticed in the past couple. I just feel like a fucking old ass man putting
Yeah.
headphones in.
No,
I'm
you
like,
got to do it.
I think it's just necessary.
Have
right?
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just in Vancouver 3-4 weeks ago. I saw Wolf Mother,
Nice.
and like I made a mistake. I didn't wear any earplugs, and yeah.
I just saw Polyphia on Tuesday. Do you guys know Polyphia?
No, I don't.
Can't say I've heard
So
of
they're
them.
like instrumental, like some of the best guitar work on the planet.
Okay.
Like absolutely unreal. But I saw them on Tuesday, and I listened to Soundcheck without earplugs on, and just like immediately my ears were ringing and it hurt.
Oh,
So I went back to the hotel room. I got my earplugs. I forgot. I'm like, I'm not listening to this concert without earplugs.
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not doing it.
Yeah.
Oh man, fucking ears ring for
not
2 days.
It's almost like not enjoyable. Like there's a point where it's
Yeah.
not enjoyable, and it's
Yeah.
like I want to listen to this and I really want to enjoy it, but I'm like, fuck, it is loud. Like
You get to that point of overload, and it's like,
I don't know. It's just weird that like socially, you're not told to do that. Like you're not told to wear headphones. You know what I mean?
well,
like
you're,
it should
you're
be
told
common.
not to wear gloves too when you work with dangerous stuff because
true.
you know who does that.
Yeah,
And-
you little pussy.
Yeah,
You little pussy.
little
Yeah.
pussy, don't wear a helmet on your motorcycle.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. You
and
don't wear
then-
shorts when you're on your motorcycle?
badass.
Fucking loser.
I think we've moved, as a society, we've kind of moved past that culture
Yeah,
a little
no,
bit.
I agree.
So
And
you heard it here first.
buy a fleshlight if you want one. Just fucking do it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't.
That's the message.
That's what I'm on at least.
Yeah, it's a good message. I think everyone needs to hear that.
Get earplugs, man.
Yeah.
Get earplugs.
Use protection.
Use protection.
Always.
We've been preaching it for a long time. Actually, that's a good point. I didn't know they meant it with the ears too.
Yeah, everything.
I bet there's some good branding for some earplugs.
Yeah, they're
Use
well.
protection.
Yeah, those music ones, right? So, like, I don't know. Yeah, okay.
I have
good
a
to know.
Fender. I have a Fender set of earplugs. They're like $20, but great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So what are you guys' goals with the band? Like, are you guys wanting to, like take over the world or like what's
world
the goal?
domination?
Yeah,
I think
world domination.
is step
seems
one.
to be what we hear from everyone.
Seems common. Seems pretty
That's
common.
exactly what I've heard before.
No, we had a couple goals. One of them was go on a BC tour, which we've checked off.
Dope.
One of them was go on the radio, which we've checked off.
Oh,
Nice.
And like, I think our next one is we want to win a Juno.
Oh,
So Canadian
yeah.
Music Award.
It's a
Take over
Canadian
Canada.
recognition.
Yeah, it's like a Grammy, but for Canada. So that's the next goal is we want to do that. We also really want to go on tour with another band, kind of like the opening act on one of their tours. So like go with a big band on the road and play with them. So
A great way of growing.
yeah.
Great way of growing.
And we want to
for
do our Canada tour next year. So we've done BC this year. But we want to do Canada next year. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Or
Medicine Hat, Wawa,
Regina.
Dildo, Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Hit all the big places.
Yeah, the big
know,
ones.
those
Yeah.
are all real. Those are real.
Somewhere in Saskatchewan, like just in a field with a rock.
Oh, dude, there's lots
It's
of
like
it.
the
Dude.
one
I'm from
landmark.
Saskatchewan, so
Okay,
there's
so you
lots
know.
of fields, man.
Yeah, cool.
I could already picture it. Stage, the canola fields, rolling hills.
Yeah.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah.
Rolling hills. You're gonna rock.
Just the one farmer is the only guy in the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But,
people would show up. People love rock and all that in Saskatchewan.
yeah, they love rock, singular.
Just the one rock, exactly.
Singular rock.
That's that one rock. You'll actually be driving on the highway and it'll say point of interest coming up, and it's a fucking rock signaling over the field.
That's amazing.
That's
Like a big
real.
rock.
That's
yeah, it is.
real.
Yeah, it
That's
is. I'm
amazing.
not even making that up.
That's awesome.
We got to do it. We got to do a travel over to Saskatchewan one of these days.
Yeah.
I want to see the hometown.
Yeah, I can show you my family.
Gotta set up the podcast setup on that rock. Like
It'll be-
find a rock that's flat enough.
Yeah.
And just get the computer out.
Yeah.
Do a podcast episode in the middle of a field.
We'll do a podcast episode at night, and we'll do some like ancient alien calling. We'll try and
Okay.
we'll try and communicate with some aliens.
The coyotes will come out.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe do some acid or something. It's the Joshua Rock, Canada's Joshua Tree. Yeah, I don't know. Speaking of craziness, got a favorite conspiracy theory you want to talk about? I love asking that question.
Gosh. I've never thought about this.
No? Okay. You only get one, so you can't go from one to another, like Skinwalker Ranch to Bigfoot. Like, I don't want to.
No, I just think that like flat Earth is hilarious.
Okay. Yeah. That.
I know it's like basic, but
No.
the fact that people still believe that that's a thing.
It's not basic. It's actually fucking fascinating watching like actual delusion on people. It's a weird kind of
Seeing
delusion.
it firsthand
Like,
as
there's-
people convince themselves that that's real.
There's Karen energy where you're just being an entitled bitch for whatever reason,
Yeah.
right? But there's a different kind of arrogance, or I don't know, like ignorance, to just thinking that the Earth is flat. I want to go to one of those flat Earth conventions so fucking bad, man. I think
It'd
that'd
be
be
so funny.
Oh, those are legit.
Those are legit. Well, dude, they fucking band together.
It's like Comic-Con, but for people that just
It's an
Don't
echo.
go
It's an
outside.
echo chamber of just bullshit, though.
I
Like,
should go in and pretend.
I
I'm
want to
like,
watch them talk to each other, and I'll act like one. I'll be like,
yeah.
yeah.
Like we're the biggest influencers of like flat Earth believers there.
What I'm thinking is that most of the I think actually 70 to 80% of actual flat earthers are just full on egotistical gaslighters, and they just love it, and they just feed off of like, yeah, it's flat. Yeah, the UN says, yeah. I don't know. I watched this one like documentary of like 15 different experiments that flat earthers themselves did. It was just a YouTube on video or on YouTube. It was a YouTube video. Jesus Christ. And it was just them debunking them one after another. And my favorite one was when he lifts up the fucking light.
Yeah.
And like, there's not supposed to be a curvature of the earth. So it's like you should just see light indefinitely for as long as you want.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't see the light. And his buddy like lifts up the light and he's like, okay, I see it now. And like the video just ends. Like
That's
there's
the whole
no
thing.
more. It's like his life shattered in that moment.
What do you do?
I don't know.
After that,
I don't know. I love that you brought it up though.
your entire belief system just broken.
I-
It must be terrible. I don't know.
I couldn't imagine.
Also, I love this about your podcast that like we started off talking about the band, and we've just gone down the rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Flat Earth.
I take my chances where I can. Absolutely,
It's necessary.
You never know what you're gonna get when you ask that question.
It's his favorite question.
It's
to
my
ask.
favorite question to ask. Absolutely, because I love all conspiracy theories. Every single one of them.
Do you have a favorite?
They're all real. Oh, I mean, the Veers, no. Pyramids, for sure. I love the pyramids.
Yeah.
Definitely aliens, for sure.
Aliens is a pretty good one.
Definitely aliens. Or like ancient humans, aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that, though. that's
We'll say that for another episode.
That's a 2-hour podcast. So
Yeah.
we don't have that time today.
Cool.
I will circle back to the thing I was saying before though with
Yeah.
goals with the band itself. We set goals. That's kind of what our podcast is. We always try and set a goal. Like in the next, 6 months, like are you guys just more focused on school right now, chilling out a little bit,
Yeah,
summer
so-
or winter time?
Over the winter, there aren't as many gigs going on over the winter as there is during the summer. Summer is definitely like peak season for playing shows. We have studio time booked in November. We're booking some more studio time, I think, in December. Like we're basically using this opportunity, this break in the gigs to write new music. I think we've written like 3 songs right now.
Okay, that
Kinda
you're
just testing them out to see,
Okay.
if they're going to be successful or if
Sure.
it's just kind of a dead end.
Would you record it or would you not record it if you don't know that you're like fully into it?
Yeah, we're set up to record in our jam space, so we'll record
Okay.
demos and stuff.
Sure,
but
okay, sure.
when you're spending as much money as it costs to, fully record and edit, mix and master,
How much does that normally cost?
You're getting an audio engineer, right? Like you're getting a full-on producer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So you have to do studio space, which can be anywhere from $600 for a day to $3,000 for a day, kind of around here, right? That's not even necessarily like if we wanted to fly down to LA and do it in-house with one of the guys that we've been working with. So it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think we budget with music videos, photo shoots, and the song, mixed, mastered, recorded. We usually budget about $8,000
Per song.
per song.
Yeah.
Damn, I never even thought of it that way.
That's realistic though. That's realistic.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man.
Because
That's-
mixing and mastering costs a decent amount of money. Like mastering is quick if you have the equipment for it, but they still charge $350 a pop, $400 a pop, something like that. Sometimes that's in USD as well. We spent I think it's $1,500 USD on mixing with Daryl down in the States. So
yeah.
Jeez, man.
there's a lot of money that goes into it. So you have to be pretty sure
Yeah.
that you can see some kind of direction with it before
Yeah.
you
That makes sense.
invest that kind of time and money into it.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense for sure. Are you guys do you record right now just in town or are you
Yeah, so we've done a few
Have
different
they
things.
do
Our
it?
first release, the whole Wither EP, we did at Silverside Sound in Cobble Hill, which was awesome. We worked with Lucas there. It was a great great space. It was our first time recording, so it was like a monumental experience for us. For Shake, we recorded at Catalog Studios in Victoria.
Okay.
And we recorded as well in like Brett's attic, which was cool. Our
really?
producer
Okay.
Brett, yeah, he has a
Cool.
bunch of the stuff at home. You can do a lot of the home record. I mean, you can do a lot of home recording.
You can do a lot of home recording, guys. Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, we
We used to have a
kinda been
blue
everywhere.
screen back here,
Yeah.
but man, oh man, was it a fucking pain in the ass to edit.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
With the lighting.
Yeah,
Anyways.
we don't have the proper stuff for the blue screen just
So
yet.
we're gonna build a studio in a bit.
Nice.
Anyways.
But yeah, to answer
Sorry
your
to interrupt.
question, it's just like if you're doing a song and you're gonna put that kind of money and time into it, you need to make sure that it's you can see it being on the album.
Totally.
That makes
We
sense.
haven't
Yeah.
tossed anything out yet that has been ready to the point of putting it on an album. So I imagine that'll happen in the future. It happens all the time for
Sure.
big musicians. They'll
Sure.
like get super inspired, write something, record something, and then be like, "No, this sucks," and then just throw it away. We haven't done that yet, but there's still time.
It's hard. It's hard, right? Because it doesn't cost anything to post the song, right?
Right.
But it's like
to make it.
it costs a lot to post. Like,
yeah.
because you don't want it to be something that people just aren't going to consume. Or,
Yeah.
Right. But it's
Yeah.
hard. It's different with music. The music industry is different.
Yeah.
Because like in the social media, Instagram game, it's just fucking quality is important, but it's more just fucking quantity. Like,
yeah.
continue putting shit out, or you won't stay relevant enough, or you won't get clicks, right? That sort of thing. It's different. It's a little different in the music for sure. So you have to be very deliberate with your choices, I can imagine.
So much planning and like so many meetings, so much like just it's way more work than I think anyone could ever really imagine.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's people that go out there and they put minimal effort in and it just happens. Here's a song and they are quite popular because
Luke Combs. We like Luke Combs.
I'm not gonna say anything.
We love Luke Combs.
Yeah.
Well, Brett's gonna try and become the next Luke Combs. So we're forcing him to post.
Thank you.
I can see it.
His goal this month is to make a song.
That is actually my goal. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you. It's
it's
going along.
Sounds pretty good so far. I've heard it 15,000 times.
You'll have to play it for me after the.
Oh dear
after
God.
the podcast.
Yeah, you should. You should. Absolutely. We've done a goal for the Shale. We're going to wrap it up here. Is there a goal you'd like to complete in the next week or 2 weeks that you'd like to just say into the camera and speak into existence? Something you haven't fucking done that you need to do?
It'll be a little bit longer than 2 weeks too.
Yeah, we've been doing a
Something
month.
You've been kind of thinking
for
about.
hours.
Yeah, we've got a studio date set for November. We're going to be going over to Vancouver and working with a guy who's won a couple Junos, working with Mono Whales and Deer Rouge. So we're going to go over there to record and do all that stuff.
Nice.
My goal for the band is get whichever of the 3 songs it is that we're currently poking at.
Yeah.
Get it figured out, which one we want to do, put some more finishing touches on it, and then get ready to hit the studio and get the next song out. So
Dope.
Hell yeah.
Dope. Awesome. Well, is there anything
Love
you
it.
want to plug right now other than stay tuned for news?
Please follow us on all social medias.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll link it somewhere in the
we'll put it
description
in the
or whatever.
description.
Check out our music videos on YouTube. We put loads of work into that.
Cool.
And they're honestly really awesome. The new Shake one that we did, we filmed at Lucky Bar. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet.
I think I have seen clips of it.
It's a dope
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
It's super cool. Yeah. So just check us out on YouTube for the videos and follow us on socials. And
Cool.
we'll be around. So make sure to stay tuned.
Awesome, Adam. Cool.
Right on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks
No
for
problem.
joining us.
Thanks for coming.
That was fun.
That was really good.
That was a really fun episode. We had a good conversation with Adam Baines.
Baines.
I don't know why, but Baines sounds right. Adam Baines.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. We talked about Shale, the come up of Shale, and where they came from.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I thought that was fantastic.
Souk. Didn't know they were from Souk. That's cool.
I thought the only good thing coming from Souk was the potholes, but
Apparently Shale's part
Shale's part of the
of that. And
greatness.
Lucky Lager.
And Lucky.
Didn't Lucky come from
I don't know.
Souk?
You're asking the wrong guy.
something like that?
Let's hit our goals. Oh, what was that one?
There you go. Didn't make the noise.
It's like too fucking quick.
Yeah. You know what that's from? It's a Roblox death
Oh,
noise.
that's what that
It's like anyways. So what was your goal this week, following up from last week, Brett?
It was to basically just start my vocal lessons and warming up as you have.
You're
you got to
howling.
witness.
You fucking wake up and Brett's just like literally staring out the window, shirtless, in his ginch, just.
Because that's the point, like, because that was a warm up, so I was going to a high note.
I
coming
get
down
it.
to a
I
low.
fucking get it. I understand.
So yeah, I did the 3 sessions
Yeah.
I wanted to do, and then I also worked on my song. I learned some things.
Okay.
So I was doing an articulation vocal warm up,
Okay.
and there's 8 types of sexy. Do you know what the 8 types of sexy are?
No. Tell me.
1, lips.
Okay.
2, teeth.
Okay.
3, your levarage, the top of your mouth.
Leverage.
Your hard palate, low palate,
hard palate.
tongue,
low palate.
throat,
Yeah.
and your nose. All of those can be used to make beautiful sounding music. And then there was constances.
Constances.
And basically there was everyone can see her on the camera, and the listeners, I'll explain it here.
Yeah.
there's this kind of warm up that I was doing where you go from articulates to constances.
Okay.
So basically, you have like a rough sound, like a k, then a j. You just go down for other ones. Like there's P, it's like p, and then there's B, it's like b. So there's a bunch of stuff like that.
Dope.
And then I did another warm up here, which was where I was just doing my like.
Didn't hear those ones, thankfully.
When did I do those ones? Oh, I try to make sure no one's in the house because I'm a little nervous for the boys to hear me doing it. I told Marcus too. I was like, hey bud,
Gonna start
sorry
singing.
in advance.
Yeah, no, it's good. You're doing your goal. I get you.
Yeah.
I just thought you were literally just screaming at the
It was
fucking
funny 'cause I was
window,
looking
and
out the
I'm
window
like,
too,
What
eh?
are you doing, man? You're like, I'm doing my goal. Oh, right. You fucking idiot.
And then I worked on my song a bit. I kind of think I have it where I want, so it's just coming down to the point of just playing it and getting comfortable playing it. And I showed Adam it. He seemed to like it.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't sing in front of him, so I'm not ready for that yet.
No,
but
that's fair.
yeah. I feel like I knocked it out of the park. It's gonna be hard coming up this week with Seattle. It's basically my next 2 weeks.
I'm worried about this Seattle because
Next 2 weeks is going to be a kind of replica of this week. It's just continuing the lessons, continuing work on the song, but Seattle's gonna fucking get in the way.
Well, that's the thing I'm worried about with my nutrition in Seattle. Like, I'm gonna be eating.
Yeah, we're gonna be eating good though.
Yeah, we'll be eating decent. And like, so
Seafood.
Are you all done?
I'm all done. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't say that I failed this week, but I definitely didn't do well. Unfortunately, I only went to the gym twice this week. So
What would you set it for? What was the goal?
3. So I did go for a long walk last night, which this is probably not fair, but I've been doing push-ups every morning. Been waking up doing some push-ups.
Have you been?
Yeah. Wake up, do some push-ups. I can do like 7. So
I can't even do any.
and it hurts.
I can't do any.
Shut up.
No, like I physically cannot right now.
Oh, your shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a past shoulder injury. It does click a little bit when I do them. But I mean, like, it's, I'm just trying to just get some upper body, just feel something in the morning. And I feel like if I just get into the habit of doing, like, as many pushes as I can do in the morning, it just, like, wakes me up, gets my
Can we
heart
set
pumping.
another goal?
Yes.
Can we both set another goal here?
What?
Let's each come up with, like, our own morning routine. Because I've been starting to do something.
I like this.
And then let's try it for a month.
Yeah, I like
And
this.
let's do a little bit of recording and stuff. Because for me, lately, I've been like, because I work at like 8 o'clock or whatever. So 6:30, I wake up, I throw the shoes on, and I jog.
Yeah.
And I run. Usually, I don't get out the door till 6:45. So I just try to get out there for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But the fact I'm out, and this morning, man, I was out there, like it's dark. It was really nice.
Yeah.
But
good.
I jogged the whole thing. I went all the way to Cook Street, went all the way towards whatever that fucking road is over there, where Fifth
Hillside.
Street's on.
We shouldn't tell people too much about where we live. We don't want to get bombed.
Yeah, it's true. But it's roughly like 2.5 kilometers, and I jogged the whole thing. And then like I make my bed when I get back. I do the warm and cold shower thing. Breakfast, working by 8. I was doing my journaling and stuff. I think we should do this. I think it'd be good. Let's construct a morning routine.
I do want to do something where I wake up. I need to just guzzle a glass of water when I wake up. I usually do, but I need to like just make sure to drink a shit ton of water.
It's important
when I wake
to
up.
actually drink a glass of water when you wake up.
Yeah, and
It really
then
hydrates you.
And then I want to do like 15 minutes of just like meditation. I just don't want to. I have to stop touching my phone when I wake up. I'm
Yeah, you gotta get rid of that
so bad at doing that. Well, recently I've been better. I've been bad recently though, so I need to just stop doing that. Just going on and scrolling, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
I have my Instagram timer, and I usually break my Instagram timer in the morning. Like the past week, I've been breaking the timer with my 30 minutes. So it's like I need to just wake up, do that, maybe take a cold shower after do my meditation.
Dude, try it, man.
Yeah.
Do what I'm doing. Do the
Hot, cold.
So start off warm, like clean your hair, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Drop warm all the way. Crank cold, 30 seconds. Crank it warm, 30 seconds. Just do that 4 times.
Yeah.
Just like cold, warm. Sorry, no. Cold, warm, cold, warm. Because that last warm, I'll wash my face and then I'm out.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how good you feel.
Yeah.
It's a relaxation
Yeah,
technique.
it gets your body going. Absolutely. So, yeah, no, I like that goal. Absolutely.
Should we do that? Should we, for the next month, let's try to install this kind of routine in us?
Yeah,
where
I
it's
agree.
almost like you go crazy if you don't do it in the morning.
Yeah, I'd like that. I really would. I'm also going to try and do like a, what is it? Just journal again. I've been journaling in the morning. I journal at night usually, like before I go to bed. But I'm like just so worn out and like my thoughts are kind of jumbled, I feel like. So I feel like I need to I get some good stuff out. Like it's kind of like a nice little event. But I need to maybe do it in the morning too. Just say what I'm grateful for. Or do like a gratitude thing.
Yeah, I do gratitude. I do memorable moment from yesterday.
Yeah.
And then I've been doing like kind of daily goal things, and that fills up the rest of the sheet. So I don't really have enough space to like do any journaling.
Sure.
But I don't know, when I'm writing music and stuff, that usually flows into it. So
yeah, sure. For this week, I'm not going to bump it up to 4 days a week because I just can't right now.
Yeah.
I'll stick to the 3. I should be able to get 3 in before we record another one.
Yeah.
Monday,
I mean, like you got today, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, we could get a lift in while we're in Seattle if we really wanted to.
Yeah, maybe.
We could also count. I would say, dude, if we went for like, if we're walking all day and like we're exploring
we get
and
over
stuff,
15,000 steps.
yeah, I'd say like that's.
I did that last night.
Rest kind of thing.
Instead of getting a taxi home last night, I like just walked home.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, might as well just walk home.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I think when
drinking?
I got I didn't drink last night. When I got home or when I got to work yesterday, I think I had like 3,000 steps. When I left, I was at 1,700. And then I walked home. I think I like ended with like 20,000 steps yesterday. It was ridiculous.
We're playing because I joined the spike ball
league,
league, right?
Spike ball league, yeah.
That fucking artificial turf hurts to slide on.
Oh shit!
Like,
yeah, it does. Yeah, you're gonna want to get some pants or something.
I don't know if I could wear pants. It's so hot in there, bro.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Yikes!
But deal with the pain.
Whatever. Yeah, deal with the pain. Yeah.
So next week, you know what? I think since we're going on a trip, just focus on the nutrition.
Yeah.
Let's hit the gym here 3 days in a row, and we'll be walking a lot in Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't want to get really fucked up on some of those nights. Like I'll drink and stuff, but I don't want to be like waking up at 12 the next day because I want to be exploring.
Yeah, I agree. No, I'm not gonna get fucked up.
Watch this.
The first night we're gonna just take a chill. I think.
You know what? You're gonna see me drinking the whole time I'm there.
What?
Tequila sodas.
Tequila sodas.
Dude, that's all I'm having.
Yeah.
I mean, at the hockey game, I might have a beer.
Yeah.
Oh, there's those new tequila drinks, like the what are they called?
I do not know.
It's like there's the vodka drinks, like the nudes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They make like tequila ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's what I'll be ripping.
Rip them.
Hey, ripping those fucking things.
I love it. All right, well, let's end it here. This is the long podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we hope you enjoyed Adam from Shale. It was really fun.
Hope you guys enjoyed. And,
thanks for coming on, Adam.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Share the podcast. Share it with friends. Share the podcast with your friends.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, guys.